Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to get animated wallpapers. So how to get live wallpapers for Windows in 2026. But first guys, if you want, you can go down on this video in the comment section and click on the first comment that I pinned. This will bring you to my Fiverr, and here you can get a YouTube logo and banner or a modern minimalist YouTube logo and banner for your YouTube channel. But now back to the video. So I'm just going to jump right in. I'm going to type lively wallpaper. Now, if you want to go to the official website, we're going to see it's the third one here. So make sure it's roxdanister.com. So you click on this one. And so here, as you can see, we will be on the official website where you can get lively wallpaper. So you can click on this download button. Now, if you click on this download button, as you can see, it automatically brings you down on the website here. And so you have the choice. So if you just want to directly download and install it right here from this website, or you can also go to the Microsoft Store. And as you can see, install it from here might be a bit quicker. So do know that that is also an option. But I'm going to go ahead and just do it from the website here. Now, as you can see, it will start up in the right corner here. So it might take a little while, but it'll be pretty quick. And so when it's done, it will also immediately appear in the upper right corner. And then you can, for example, click show in folder. But I'll actually first go back to Google here, and I'm going to search for an animated wallpaper. That's also what I'm simply going to type. I'm just going to type animated wallpaper. Now you're going to have multiple sites that have these moving backgrounds, so these moving wallpapers. But I'll personally actually just go for the first one, motion BGs. So as you can see, we'll have a couple of wallpapers. Now you can also categorize it, so filter it by certain categories. Like you of course have up here, as you can see as well, 4K animated wallpapers, anime wallpapers. And the best thing is that these are all free animated wallpapers as well, so that's really nice actually. And so I think I'm going to go for this one here. So it's actually going to be a Naruto wallpaper. I think it looks quite nice. Now what you can do then is actually scroll down. Most of the cases you actually have two options. So you have the option to get the 4K wallpaper. Of course, it's going to be a higher resolution, or you can also do a HD version. So if you're just fine with the HD version, you can go ahead and go for that one. But if you want more of a higher quality, you can of course go for the 4K wallpapers. It's going to be a bit bigger in file size, but once again, if you don't mind that, you can go ahead for that. And that is also what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go for the 4K. I'm just going to click on it. It will appear up here, and you can do show in folder. And so it should go immediately to your downloads, just like the lively wallpaper setup. So we have them both right here. And as you can see, if I click on it, I'm going to show you the wallpaper. And there we go, as you can see. Okay, so I'm of course going to go ahead and do the lively wallpaper setup. I double click. Here you have the option to do install for me only. So it's only going to be for you. But if you, for example, have multiple users on Windows, or you're not an administrator, you can go for that one as well. Now I'm just going to do install for me only. Now here you can select the language. I'm going to go ahead and go for English. Just going to do next. Here you can do I accept the agreement. Click next. Now here's going to be the path. I advise you to keep it like this. If you really know where you want it to be saved, you can always go ahead and browse it. But you have to make sure where you put it and also be able to find it back. So be wary of that, where to install it. Also make sure that you watch out for the amount of free disk space, because as you can see, it will require around 500 MB of disk space, so we're also wary of that. Then we can go ahead and click next. This is optional, but we can create a desktop shortcut, next, and then we're going to click install. That shouldn't take too long. If Windows asks you for permission, say yes, and then we will be done. So you can make sure you click launch lively wallpaper, it will launch immediately. You can click on finish. And so here we will have it, as well as the desktop shortcut. What you can also do, if you go to search, type lively wallpaper, you can go ahead to the application and right click, and also pin it to start, so it'll be right here. Pin it to taskbar, so it'll be down here. And of course, go to the open file location. You will see, together with the path up here, where it will be saved. And then you can also right click, do show more options, for example, send to, and then desktop to create a shortcut on your desktop in case you don't have that, or you've got to check that during the installing. That is also how you can get a desktop shortcut in case you want that. Now, if you want to launch it on startup, you can also right click here, go to task manager, and you want to go to startup apps. You're going to search for lively. The status, as you can see, is enabled, but in case it would have been disabled, you can right click and then click enable. But as you can see, for me, it's already enabled, so it will launch up automatically whenever Windows starts up, so my PC, and I'll immediately have my animated wallpaper, if that is something, of course, you want. There's also a little setting for that within the lively wallpapers application. I'll show you in a second. Okay, then we are on lively wallpaper itself. Just going to make this bigger. The layout, so this is going to be the main library. You're going to have some examples here, so some integrated animated wallpapers. Now most of these actually are also interactive animated wallpapers. So if I do, for example, this one, as you can see, if I go with my mouse, it follows the movement of my mouse. So this would be an interactive animated wallpaper. Then up here we also have gallery. Now this has been a while since it said coming soon, so it might still be something they're working on, but for the moment it's still not available. And an updates window, which is more recent, where you can see the biggest updates that have been done most recently. So of course, if you just download and install the latest version of lively wallpaper, it shouldn't be necessary to upgrade. You can also do check for updates down here, but once again, if you just got it, it should be up to date already. And here you can see, of course, some newer features within the software. Then back in library, go ahead up in the right corner and do add wallpaper. Now the nice thing about Lively Wallpaper is that you actually have two choices. So you can do, of course, choose a file from your PC, which is what I'm gonna do, the one that we downloaded earlier. But you can also go ahead and enter an URL from different kinds of sources. And that's actually the one I'm gonna do first. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and go to YouTube and get the URL. Okay, so I found this video here. And so if I play it for a little bit, now there's not gonna be any sound, but as you can see, there will be some movement. What you can do then is go up here, take the URL. So I'm gonna do Ctrl+C, so copy. Go back here, enter URL. I'm going to remove this, whatever's remaining here, just remove it and do Ctrl+V, so paste. And you'll do the arrow. Then you click OK. So then you actually have that YouTube video in question, for example, as an animated wallpaper. Now, in a lot of cases, people did run into a 153 error code. You might sometimes find some workarounds, but do know that the URL is an option. But I'm just going to go ahead and do choose a file because I'm going to import the one that I downloaded. So make sure you go where you downloaded it as well. Click on it. And this is what it looks like. You can do the title, do description. Website will be the URL. Then we can click OK. This might load a little bit depending on how big file size is. And so it will be added here. And so if I minimize this, as you can see, my wallpaper just became the animated wallpaper, the one we downloaded. Then what we can also do, if you go to three little dots, you could, for example, preview it before adding it. You can open the file location where we got it from, delete and edit like the title, for example, as well. But I'm going to go ahead and do customize. And so let me actually make this window smaller so we can see what we're doing. Saturation, as you can see, this will accentuate the coloring, the saturation, so basically become more colorful. What's nice about the hue, you can actually make it look different in terms of color. As you can see, now it became more of a pinkish color. Or if you go down here, to even accentuate more of the greenish. So that's actually very nice if you want to change the color around a bit of the wallpaper in question. The hue can actually help you with that. I'm going to put this back at 0 here. Of course, the brightness, contrast as well. Can also remove some, we'll make it a bit darker. Another option that might be very interesting to you is the speed. So if I put this up, I'm gonna exaggerate this a bit so you can see what it does. You can see it goes very fast. Now this will actually look better on some animated wallpapers more than others. It really depends what kind of wallpaper you're working on. Otherwise just put back the speed. Now 1 is the default. Now with the speed there's something that you have to keep in mind. This might also not work smoothly at all times depending on your PC. If you have more of a low-end PC, this could actually also affect the CPU and you might be running into some trouble to run it smoothly. In that case you could actually go ahead and go for a more simpler animated wallpaper, or like the HD version instead of the 4K as we saw earlier, so that you actually have a better performance. In case it has sound, you can also mute it if you really don't want to hear the constant music or sound coming from the animated wallpaper in the background. Click this and it will be muted. Now when you're done you can click OK. So actually make this bigger again. Now you might also be wondering about the multiple screens, if that's an option as well. Now for that you can go up in the right corner once again. Here you can see the active wallpapers. Click on it. Now I have in my case 2 screens. Now I'm not using the second one currently, but it is an option to put it on a second, third or more displays of course as well. And so these options will be here. So you can spawn it so it goes over 2 screens, or duplicate. So you can actually see exactly this one but a second version right here. As you can see as well, you have a tab for the screensaver in case, and you can just click OK. So now I want to go to the actual settings of Lively Wallpaper itself. By that I'm going to go up here to the settings. Now we immediately have the option I talked about earlier that you can do within the application here as well, which is going to be start with Windows. Of course, if that's something you want, you click on, so that it actually runs on startup. System tray icon is something we already have on. There's going to be a little icon right here, so it's running in the background. If that's something you want, do on. If you don't want it, click off. The theme, you can click on it. Now do keep in mind, this is important, this is the theme of the Lively Wallpaper application itself. This has nothing to do with the backgrounds, the wallpapers. This is only the theme within the Lively Wallpaper, so this application. Volume as well. Once again, if you have an animated wallpaper that has sound, you can bring that up, or you can of course bring that down. This is going to be all the way off, of course, which isn't really necessary anyway if your animated wallpaper doesn't have any sound like mine currently. Going up to the performance tab, we can do application full screen. You can also do battery saver. This might actually help you increase the performance of the animated wallpaper as well, because saving the battery might help with the CPU. It's playing in the background, and so it'd be like a saving mode. We're going to go up to the wallpaper tab. So wallpaper input, you most of the times of course want to select mouse here, and of course also mouse interaction when application focused. So this is if you have an interactive wallpaper, make sure this is checked as well. Now if you go down to the video player, you can choose this whatever you want it to be. It can be a VLC as well, or you can just keep it at MPV. The GPD code could be interesting. That's something you enable, which could once again help with the performance, because the GPU is going to be a graphics card, which is going to help into the performance of your animated wallpaper. So do keep that option in mind as well. You can turn it off or on and see what it does for you. Down here in audio, you can do audio device. In case it has sound, you can select an audio output here. I would go in my case for the speakers by default, because that's going to be my headphones. If you have the option as well, you can choose your screen or any other audio output where you want the sound to go through. Then we have the screensaver tab here as well. And finally system. You can also change the taskbar theme. So here you can choose between different ones, which could actually look very nice in combination with your wallpaper. For the rest, of course, debug is also an option if you're running into any problems, and also getting the log file in case you want that. So then we can go back with the arrow. Now if you're gonna close Lively Wallpaper like this, it will still be running in the background in your system tray. So if you go to the little arrow, it is in your system tray. Now to really close it, you have to right click and you click on exit. This really just closes the application and of course stops the animated wallpaper in question as well. And to open it again, if you don't have it in start, the desktop shortcut or pinned to taskbar, you can also just go to search, type Lively Wallpaper once again. And to actually go within the application itself again, you can go back to the system tray, the little arrow, right click, and do open Lively. This will reopen the application window. Now something else I already talked about a bit briefly earlier on, but it's actually going to be the performance of the animated wallpaper. Now to boost that performance, what we can do is right click on your taskbar and go back to your task manager. Then you want to go to details, you go to the L for Lively, right click, you do set priority, and now by default it will probably be on normal, but you can do this on above normal, high or real time. These three will actually make the performance better, so the application of Lively Wallpaper will have a priority, and thus also the animated wallpaper will have a priority, so a better performance. So this could definitely give you a performance boost and also help you with the CPU, of course. Okay, so there we go. I did want to mention as much as possible about Lively Wallpaper. It's actually a very nice free alternative to other wallpaper engines. Anyways, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Please, if you like, really nice. Subscribe, also really nice. Hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye.